This is going to feel probably like a really odd video or a really odd conclusion that I've come to. I don't know. Having received this cancer diagnosis has been, I mean, I'm still processing it, obviously, and my feelings may well change. But there's something about it, when I get into worrying about what it means for my future, I kind of have to rein myself back and say, but nothing has changed. And what I mean by that is that for many years throughout my life, I've been worried about death and worried about running out of time to do all the things I want to do, and that I might be in the middle of doing something and then my life gets cut short. My dad died when I was 13, and so I became much more aware of death at that point, and the death of other people that I care about, and also my own mortality. But in a sense, that was always quite distant, and I think for most of us it is. We go about our lives, we're aware that we're going to die at some point, but generally it's quite a distant thing, and that's obvious by the virtue of the fact that we put things off because we've got time. Whereas when you receive, well, I can't speak for anybody else apart from myself. When I received my cancer diagnosis, it was like someone holding up a sign in front of me and saying, you're not in control, you are gonna die. Not that I'm saying, right, I'm imminent, like death is imminent for me at all, but it's like someone has slapped me around the face and said, you've been putting this into the distance for so long, well, now you can't ignore it. But the worries I had about death when it was still a distant thing are still the worries I have now that I've been diagnosed with cancer. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but that is the case pre-cancer. I got into a thing recently of there are things that I want to do. I might want to do a particular course in the future. I'm not sure. It depends how things go and if I'm still interested. But I thought, well, what if I start that course and then I don't live to finish all of it? But that's no different pre-cancer diagnosis. That could still happen. You know, I could get knocked over by a car. I don't know, anything could happen. I remember coming home to my husband one day, I don't know, it was about a week after the diagnosis, feeling really wobbly, and I hugged him. I said, I don't want to die young. I mean, I'm not young. I'm 45. He said, I don't want you to die either. He said, I want us to grow old together. And I don't know that that's going to happen. But again, I took for granted that that would happen pre-cancer diagnosis. There was no guarantee of that ever. And I think the cancer diagnosis has been a gift, which sounds really bizarre. To me, it's been a gift for me because it's highlighted the fact that the things you have taken for granted in your life have never ever been guaranteed. The things that you assumed would happen, or the time you would have, the plans you made, have never ever been guaranteed to you. Every day is a gift. Yeah, having a cancer diagnosis has made me think. Just realise every day is a gift. Nothing is certain. Maybe I will grow old with my husband. I really don't know. Neither of us know. But it's made us have some conversations about how our finances are set up. We have wills, we've already done all that even before all this, but it's made us think about things like that and having things sorted so that if anything happens, and actually something could still happen to him before it happens to me, and that's the thing, isn't it? Although those conversations have felt quite morbid, they're necessary. So my worries about death and the unknown have not changed since my cancer diagnosis, but it's just that the cancer diagnosis has brought them into sharp focus and made them more real, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it feels good, because it does not feel good. Death has always been something that's preoccupied my mind quite a bit, but having the cancer diagnosis has made me realise that at the same time, even though it has dominated, I've still kept it at a distance. And I think in some ways really that's necessary for our mental health, because if we thought about it all the time, we wouldn't be very sort of happy, would we, if we thought about death all the time? And we shouldn't let death stop us from living. But I think cancer is brought to me anyway, a sense of urgency about living. You don't know how much time you've got. You never have known. But cancer makes that even more, brings it closer. So whilst there are plenty of difficult aspects of this cancer diagnosis, in some ways cancer is, it's a real shift in perspective on life. So that's probably something for another video about how it shifted my perspective. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable to do so, how cancer, whether it's shifted your perspective on death, or have you found any benefits of it. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but I think this can help us to live more in the here and now and more in the present if we allow it to, if we take these new perspectives on board. But do let me know. I'd love to hear other people's experiences, get a real community of people together to share those. In the meantime, go well, and I will see you soon.